One of the new words for the new medicine that's emerging is integrative medicine, using the best from the East and from the West. And there's something of value in each tradition. And if you can show people that there's research that backs up some of these results of the homeopathic and the alternative medicine approaches, then that can talk to those people who are looking for that kind of reassurance.
You know, we don't have to make this unnecessarily dichotomous. It's not Western or Eastern medicine. And I don't think anybody is alluding to that one's got it and the other doesn't, or that there aren't other ways of thinking. And it's also naive to think that somehow we as a culture have not become disconnected from our historical past. Nothing could be further from the truth. Native people, in terms of a sustaining way of life, have over the last 200 years undergone an acute psychohistorical change. There is no question about that. Everything that gave them meaning, everything that had purpose had to be redefined as a ticket for survival in the culture. This does not imply that we in Western cultures have not become disconnected from our own grounding. And I think that point is critically important. We live in a society, in a world, in which we are all becoming disconnected from credible norms that once sustained us, from long-term marriages to belief in anything that says if we don't take care of ourselves, that something else is going to take care of us. Our belief in governments, our belief in CEOs of major corporations, our belief that somehow that there is something out there that has our best interest at heart.
Insurance.
Insurance.
But I think that we are so accustomed to putting one side against the other as if one side has to win and one side has to lose. Allopathic medicine has to lose and Eastern medicine therefore has to win. I think that at some point no solutions to anything are found when you are in the paradigm of if one side's right, the other side has to be wrong. That at some point one has to ascend to the antinomial platform of thinking in which the opposite of a truth is another truth. And the opposite of one valid system of medicine is another valid system of medicine. The opposite of one position is another position that is equally profound with its own history and its own structure. And that when you have that position and its own crises and its own fault lines and its own need to shed ways that need to go at this critical juncture in human history. So the question is, how then does one create this synthesis of two truths whose time has come to absorb the best of both within, I think, a position that we're not really talking about medicine, we're talking about power.
We're talking about
power.
Yeah.
Well, to me, Carolyn, I think the only way this can happen is for individual people to reclaim their own power and find their own place in this world of ours, because that, with the shattering of the systems, unless we find that within ourselves, we are totally shattered. And so within each one of us is that divine being that knows why we get sick and what we can do about it. And our job, I believe, is to listen to and cooperate with that consultant, which is the physician within each patient. That way, it really doesn't matter what system you're working with. I mean, that becomes irrelevant, because any system can work with people or not work with people. I've watched beautiful jobs of surgery that don't heal and batched up jobs of surgery that heal very well. So the question is, who's doing the healing? But the important thing is for the individual person to take back their responsibility, take back the power, and accept the reality.
To ascend to power.
Yes, that's really where it is.
And that takes us back to what we were talking about yesterday with the major contract to come in to use power responsibly, wisely, and lovingly at all levels of our own individual lives.